Good morning. My name is John Rayner. Today is January 2014, the 6th of the month. I'm going to be producing an informal documentary on the living conditions at the downtown YMCA at 340 Montgomery Street, Syracuse, New York. Horrible living conditions. These men are in here mostly because they had previous drug issues and they're trying to restart their lives. And to be quite frank with you, how can you restart your life living under these types of conditions? It just isn't right. Most of the house cleaner girls, there's only 3 of them that I'm aware of, they always complain that their hours get cut. I've asked repeatedly I've been here for 3 years, and I've asked repeatedly downstairs, put in work orders, even work orders have been put into the computer. For the past 3 years, I've asked for my peephole and my door to be replaced, which was broken when I first moved here, and I have a Section 8 fixed permit for this room, which pays part of my rent to the Section 8 authority. I've asked for my windowsill to be painted for 2.5 years because all the paint came off and the water soaks in from the outside, and when it freezes during the winter, it's forcing a separation in the wall and the windowsill. Giant holes in my floor. Dust gathers and accumulates in your room every single day. You can wipe it down every single day, but it piles back up. I have good reason to believe that there is asbestos in this building, and it is floating around and entering the men's lungs. I'm going to walk around and give you an informal tour of the 4th floor living conditions of the men there. There are toilets that have been out of order on my floor for an extremely long time. So let's get started. This is my room, 527, as you can see. I'm going to give you pictures of the floors, the best pictures I can possibly give you, considering I'm taping this on a laptop. That's feces on the floor. That's been there for 3 days. You should smell the stench in here. It smells horrible. These butts on the floor for several days. Every bit of this. Okay, this is the men's bathroom on the 518 side of the building. See the conditions of the sinks and underneath. Horrible conditions. Look at this. Horrible conditions. I'm going to document this. Try to every few days. I'm gonna make it every 48 hours for the next week to a month. See the conditions of these walls? That's paint chips. There's probably asbestos in that wall too, which is floating around in men's lungs. These are the mirrors, which is no big deal. Not everybody's pretty. Look at the condition of these soap dispensers that men are expected to get soap from for their bodies. Okay, this shower, I know for a fact, hasn't worked for the 3 years I've been here. I'm going to see if I can cut it on. Let's see if they've done anything with it. You can't even turn the knob. Can you believe it? Look at the bug flying. Bugs flying in the air. You cannot even turn that knob. Nothing you can do with it. Look at the conditions of these showers. This one I know for a fact works. Thank God. Otherwise, all the guys on this side will be using our showers on our side, and only 3 of those work. Conditions of toilets. You see this? Incredible. Do you see this, people? Horrible. How can any man want to get away from drugs? See the window sills. These window sills in this bathroom have not been cleaned in 2 years that I'm aware of. Look at this sink. Incredible. This is a slop sink. A couple of the guys cleaned it a little bit here about a week ago, but it used to be, see all that black stuff in the corner? That's a fungus. This whole sink was black like that a week ago, but the men cleaned it the best they could to their best abilities. But I mean, come on. See this plastic right here? That right there is covering up a hole in the pipe. The water shoots up in the air if you turn it on and you don't have a piece of plastic on there. This sink has been like this for approximately 3 years that I've lived in this building. Horrible, horrible conditions. Horrible conditions. They want you to live like a human being, and they want you to recover from your drug use and your psychological issues, but they treat you like an animal. Okay, we're going to leave this bathroom and go on around this side. See the conditions of the doors? Look at this. They do not clean anything, period. Okay, I'm going to be taking you over to the bathroom that's on my side of the building. This is an exit door here, as a matter of fact. This is supposed to be an emergency exit. We'll be talking about that later too. You go into these emergency exits and you can't find your way out of the building. Now we're on my side of the building. And this is the area of the elevator that the men are using. The water fountain that used to belong right here was taken off the wall. It never worked when I came here 3 years ago. It was taken off the wall approximately 2.5 years ago. Okay, they left it exposed, and as you can see, that pipe is wide open. You can smell gases coming up through that pipe. Gases from the sewer system. Jesus Christ, God Almighty. Horrible conditions. Horrible living conditions. This is the entranceway to the elevator. I'm going to show you the inside of this elevator at a later time. The conditions of the walls. I mean, look, chunks of the ceiling coming down. Dirty, nasty windows. I don't soon as possible, but I mean, I just realized approximately a month ago. True, that was my fault, but these conditions did not help. This is the entrance to the bathroom on my side. This hole in the floor goes all the way through the wood paneling. It's about half inch deep. You tend to trip on it quite often when you come out or go into the bathroom. We're entering my bathroom on my side. This toilet works. This toilet works, and it stayed out of water for approximately from last March 2013 until about August of 2013. The same time that these two sinks went out. I cleaned this bathroom up in the last month. I cleaned these sinks out. They were horribly full of black stuff from backing up into the sinks. As you can see, they're still out of use, out of order, leave bags on. We don't want to fix it. This sink, it's got a little bit of paint left in it from where the painter comes into the rooms to paint, but only paint when they want to rent a room out. This sink was black too until I cleaned it approximately 2 to 2.5 weeks ago. There's a sign put on the wall. Now, when I cleaned this bathroom, I pulled this dryer hose off of this wall and I moved it out along with the dryer, and that hose was full of lint. The trap that goes out to the outside of the building was stuffed. See how big around that pipe is? Now that outside pipe that goes outside the building was so stuffed with lint and trash and pieces of plastic that I was smelling something plastic burning in here. The lint trap in the bottom of the dryer down there, when I pulled it off, after I pulled the dryer out, it was stuffed with melting plastic parts. It's clean now, but the inside of the machine is still horribly stuffed with stuff. These windowsills used to look like the windowsills over on the other side until I cleaned in here approximately 2 weeks ago. Now look at them. They're staying clean because I try to update the best that I can, but when they found out that I had cleaned in here, they made the mop heads and brooms disappear from the downstairs. Okay, this used to be a urinal on the wall. As you can see, all they did was stuff a bunch of paper into the hole, and that has been like that for the 3 years that I've been here. The upper hole there, wide open. Oh, another exposed pipe, wide open. Gee, they did put a needle box on the wall. Ain't that nice? Still got a fairly clean lip there. This is the bathroom. It's a rarity before you can get it. You ask the girls to replace and put more soap in the dispensers, but they say they put it in on, say, a Thursday, and if it's empty on Sunday, they say, well, I refilled it Thursday. That shower works. This shower works now, but as you can see, the soap dispensers are all over the floor. I mean, the men ain't exactly perfect in here, but if you continue to treat a person like an animal, they continue to live like an animal. Exposed drain. This seat was so horribly caked with fungus that if you set your bare bottom on it, you ended up getting a contact infection through your skin. They're supposed to spray these showers down with an antifungal agent. To the best of my knowledge, so you can see the paint on the wall if you get in there close. They do it every once in a while, but it's a rarity. All pieces of paint on the shower wall. Good morning. I won't put your face on this. Most of the men are too scared to say anything because they're afraid of getting run out of the building. Oh, and those sinks, last March when they clogged up and that toilet clogged up, they claimed that they had to break this hole in the wall to fix the pipes. But as you is still there and the sinks are still unfixed. That was last March of 2013, and this is January of 2014? Go figure. Okay. We're going to be taking a walk from this point up the fire escape, or up the fire exit stairs at the back of the building. We're going to drop down to floor number 4. That's where the kitchen is that the men use to cook their food. And we're going to give you a little look-see at that. And we're going to let you look at their toilets also. Gee, I'll tell you what, at least the fire escapes are fairly clean. Problem is, if you go out the fire escape, these stairs go down to the very bottom, and this bottom door is supposed to have a secure lock on it, and you can open it up from the outside of the building with no problem. Here, more disgusting floors. Okay, let's go around the corner. This is the 4th floor. It's not too far bad. Got some men down here in the hallway, so I'm going to have to keep the camera pointed to the floor. I don't want their faces on the camera. Anybody got any complaints? No, I didn't think so. They're all too scared to say anything. I'm afraid to get their ass kicked out on the street. Oh. Hang in there for just a minute. Unless you want your picture on this. This is the floor and the conditions of the bathroom on the 4th floor. Again, you can see this. Gee, they got a nice lop sink. It's pretty dang clean. That's not too bad. Pretty. Oh, there's a nice bucket under there to catch the water from the pipe that's probably never been fixed. Now, let's open this stall door here. Because the other one's being used because it's the only one in here that works. Look at this. Toilet stuffed with, you name it, it's in it. Obviously, it has not worked in quite a while. Well, Mr. Kenyon would love this. Go figure. Both your showers in here work?
I wouldn't put a laptop in the shower.
Oh, well, I'm not too worried about that, unless the pipes are going to bust open. Most of the pipes have got holes in them, I know that. Most of them do on our floor.
Only the one on the left works.
Only the shower on the left works. I assume you heard that. Whoever's going to be seeing these discs in the future, preferably Mr. Kenyon, the health department, OSHA, and you won't be having your face on this, don't worry about it. That way you don't have to feel threatened by staff here. More conditions. There's so many fire code violations in the kitchen that we're getting ready to go to here on the 4th floor. To be quite frank with you, you shouldn't fall back in it. The oil and grease on the floor is horrible. This is the lounge. Nice little sign they had there. This is the eating lounge on the 4th floor. This is the only place you can cook any food. Now, if you notice, this window is caked with oil. Look at that. That's an exhaust fan. See how thick the oil is on the white? It's never been cleaned in the 3 years I've been here. The walls, gaps, holes in them, horrible conditions. They do have a fire extinguisher hanging on the door. I wonder if it works. I know the tag is up to date. I will give them that. They do spend a little bit of money to have a guy come do that once a year. They did replace the stove tops finally. They used to be all out. It used to be you only had one big one on each of the sides. That worked. But I mean, come on. Get serious. See the walls? That's all oil. Condensed oil stuck on the walls from not being cleaned. More health code violations. Look at this ceiling. Look at this. This is all oil. Nothing but fire code violations. All those dots you're seeing is dots of dark liquid oil that's condensed on the walls. Nothing but fire code violations. Look at these outlets. See the wall? Look at that. Jesus Christ. It's so damn thick that the oil runs down the wall. These walls have been like this for the 3 years I've been here. Look at this. Look at this. Jesus, if the fire started in this little kitchen, you wouldn't get burnt up by the fire. You'd suffocate from the dust and the smoke created by the fire. Look at this. Jesus, Lord Almighty. See how thick that oil is on that wall? God. It's so thick and so fresh and so old. Look at the way it glows. Look at that. Look at that. Incredible. Look at this. That's the cabinet door. You get back, you can't really see it, but when you get up close, you can really see that oil. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and leave the kitchen because most likely some men want to come in here and try to fix some breakfast and try to live like a human being. We're going to be visiting the bathroom on the 4th floor at this time, but we're going to go have a look see at their elevator. These are the floors. Conditions of the floors are always horrible. The girls complain all the time that they keep getting their hours cut. And I believe they do, to a degree. I'll give the girls that. They do try. Wow, they got a water fountain. I wonder if theirs works. Let's have a look see and see if their fountain works. Whoa, you get water out of it. As you know, on the 5th floor, we haven't had a water fountain in 3 years. And it was off before I even moved here. These are the window sills in front of the elevator on the 4th floor. Now we're going to go ahead and have a look see in the bathroom on the opposite side. Look at these. Don't worry, I won't get your face on the camera. Just having a little look see around, recording things here and there, letting the world know what being treated like an animal is. The air filtration systems, look at it. Horrible conditions. At least both there told us working here. It looks like all 3 of their sinks work. I'm stunned. Oh, look. There's another one of those pipes really took a year on the wall and stuck with paper. Shame. Just shame. Hey, their sills aren't too awful bad. Not too bad. Sorry, sir. I'll be out of your way in 2 seconds. Have a look at this damn shower. I seen this a while ago when I came down here. I've never been in here before. And it looks worse than ours upstairs. Look at this. These floors, these walls, by public health law in New York State, are supposed to be sanitized on a bi-weekly or a monthly basis. Look at this. Holes in the tile. Tons of fungus stuck in the walls. All over the tiles. Incredible. Look at this. These are their soap dispensers. They look worse than ours. Probably because I cleaned ours. And they wouldn't give me a job. Here's their seat on their floor. This is what our seat on the 5th floor looked like before I cleaned it. If you set your butt on that, I guarantee you're getting an infection. Look at this. That's a fungus. If you stick your bare bottom on this seat, you are getting a fungus in your skin through the pores, which will make you sick. That's their drain. At least they got the cut wrong. That's a miracle in itself. But look at this. Jesus, Lord Almighty. See, there's some of that pink antifungal that they're supposed to spray every 2 weeks or every month. But it doesn't just do you any good to just spray it. You have to scrub on top of it. Okay, we're going to move out of this shower because if a man wants to get in here and take a shower in this place, it's stunning. But like I said, they don't have any choice but to take what they can and do what they can to try to live like a human being, even though these people don't want them to live like a human being. These men want to get better, but they have no incentive to get better. I mean, they're treated like this. They're treated like animals. We'll be moving from this floor up to the 6th floor. More conditions of the floor tiles. Well, I'll tell you, when you look at these elevator doors, look at here. This is the elevator that the girls come up every day. When they do come up. Usually on weekends, you don't see them. Sometimes the trash piles up in the hallways, and wherever it happens to want to pile up. Mr. John Kenny would just love this. He'd probably throw up. He'd probably want to put all sorts of stuff all over his body after he left here. Conditions of the walls. Look at this. It's like a ghetto. It's worse than a ghetto. I've seen cleaner ghettos. Shit, I've seen cleaner toilets. Okay, here we're back to that good old exit door on the 4th floor. Now we're going to go back up the steps. We're going to go up 2 flights to the 6th floor. The 6th floor is where Mr. Turk, the manager for the men's residence here at the YMCA, he lives in one of the rooms. I don't know if he still lives there or not. I know he drives a really, really beautiful white, looks like a Cadillac Escalade, but it looks brand new. These are carpet, greasy carpet laying in an emergency exit stairwell. It wouldn't do you any good anyway, because to get out of this building, you have to go out the front stairwell. Now I'm on 6, and I gotta be quiet. Since I'm updating my business on the conditions, you want to see some conditions, you should see these floors on this floor. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And these floors stay like this. It doesn't matter if it's spring, winter, summer, or fall. These floors continuously stay like this. This is outside the rooms. These poor guys, they treat them like animals. I guarantee you every bit of this has been here for a week. They're only swept by a young girl named Karen, who's part of the staff, if you can call them that. I mean, look at this. Jesus, Lord Almighty. I know for a fact that right there has been there for 3 days. I was up here just 3 days ago. And there you go. This is where the girls come up with their cards. Good morning. If you don't want your face on the camera, not a problem. This is the 6th floor men's bathroom on the north side of the building. I talked to a man earlier who was up here, and he told me this toilet has been out of order for 4 years. I didn't even know that. I was stunned. I was amazed when I was amazed to see that my toilets and my sinks had been out of order since, or the 2 sinks rather, had been out of order since March of last year. I mean, incredible. Let's see what the inside of this toilet looks like, shall we? Let me set my camera down here. Let's have a look, see what this looks like. Well, it's got water in it anyway, but it don't work. That toilet's been out of service for 4 years. Oh my God, there's a urinal in here. Don't worry, I won't get you on my camera. My God, look, this is the only urinal I've seen on all 3 of the floors. That's stunning. Oh, but it's out of order too, isn't it? Wow. I wonder how long it's been out of order. As long as the according to the man I spoke to earlier. Now here's the inside of it. I mean, if it's been out of order for 4 years, like he said, I could believe it because of that crustacean right there. Stunning. Stunning. Okay, let me set my camera down so I can put the bag back on here before a snake crawls out of it or something dead crawls out of it, wanting to find some better place to live. Wow, at least they got pretty clean windowsills. I'll give them that up here. But I bet you if I pulled that vacuum cleaner exhaust line loose like I did ours in our bathroom downstairs, you'd shit and fall back in, Mr. Kenyon. You would shit and fall back in it, because I guarantee you that hose is full of lint. I bet you they have to dry the hose twice to get them dry, if they get them dry at all. I'm going to go to the rest of this floor so this man in here in the shower can get his shower taken care of. Oh, and here's the sink that's been out of order since last year, according to the man that I spoke to earlier. Let's have a look, see up under, see what we find here. Wow, certainly better than the other stuff that I had. I'll give it that. Very interesting. Evidently, it doesn't get swept in here very often. You should have seen our bathroom downstairs on our side before I cleaned it. It scared me to death. Let me go back out and stuff all that. These are wheelchair accessible bathrooms. The problem is the toilet's broke. That's accessible for a wheelchair. See? You can't get a wheelchair in this bathroom here. In this toilet, you can't get a wheelchair in there. Look at that floor. Now, if a person in a wheelchair wanted to go into this one, which is supposed to be a wheelchair accessible toilet, it's been out of order for 4 years. So how can a wheelchair get in there? I mean, he could dump his load in a dry toilet, I guess. Now, look at this. Look at this. Look at this floor. Jesus Christ Almighty. Look at this wall. I guarantee you there's asbestos in there. And that goes in the air. And these men have to breathe this air. Incredible. And this, I know, this wall has been like this for about 8 months. And it's right next to a mechanical room, no less. Go figure. That's nuts. Okay, we're going to work our way around to the other back. We've got to be quiet because this is the floor where Mr. Twister is. Look at these floors. And the floors ain't the issue, really. It's the unsanitariness of everything. I know that window was done like that approximately a year ago, and this still hasn't been replaced. I'm going to lower my voice a little bit, and we won't get the big man upset out here trying to bash me in the head or take my laptop. That's the windowsill next to the men's elevator. It's not too bad. Certainly cleaner than ours was, I'll give it that. Stunning. This is the bathroom over here, but it's occupied right now by several men, so we'll catch this bathroom on another day. Go ahead, I won't get your face on here. Yeah, I guess you can see that they really treat you like a human being here, huh? They treat you so well. They want you to get better. These 6th floor floors. Wow, they're worse than what they were last year, that's for sure. I made over this last year when they wouldn't fix our toilets down there and wanted to use them to threaten them to get them fixed, but it's quite obvious you can see that nothing got done. Obviously you can see the girls don't sweep the floors or mop them. Now I'm going to go back over and see if this nice man is done with his shower, so we can give you a look-see at their showers. See the separation in that wall right there? That's a seal on a door. And I'd say that separation is from moisture in the frame. See it? See that separation? And all they do is paint over it. They never fix it. Cracks in the walls, they just paint over it. We're back over to the bathroom, which is right across from 631 here. This is the bathroom that was pointing out a little while ago, where as you can see the sign up that says that it's wheelchair accessible. I mean, get real, people. How's a man in a wheelchair going to sit on that toilet when the toilet don't work and hasn't worked for 4 years? Get real. Let's see if this man is still back here in the shower. I don't see his stuff hanging up, so I hope he isn't back here, but if he is, we can always turn around. We don't want to embarrass anybody any more than we're already all embarrassed living in this slop. Their shower in here is actually fairly clean. I'll give them that. They must care a little bit about themselves. Now look at this bench. These are something else you see all over here. See these flies? See that little bug right there? They're like a fruit fly. They're all over the place in this place. They got a pretty clean seat here. It looks about as clean as the one that I read there. But again, you can see the drain is exposed. See all the stuff that's setting there? That's not cement you see up there. That is slime and grime. Look down in the hole. Oh my God. With that being open like that and exposed, you can understand how men could get sick. Okay, I gotta point this down because we've got a man in here that wants to use the shower, and we're going to exit now. And we're going to head back down to the 5th floor, where unfortunately I have to live. And there's that sink again. Been like that for a long, long time. I think we'll ride the elevator down to the 5th floor this time. Don't worry, I won't catch your face on this.
Do what?
I said, don't worry, I won't catch your face on this. Just documenting.
Right?
Updating my documenting.
Okay.
I update it about once every 2 months, don't you?
You want them?
This is the elevator. Look here in this corner right here. You see this? That's been there for more than a year. That pile of snotty nasty 5, please. The men here want to live like human beings, but they're treated like animals. And a lot of them are starting to respond to people like animals. I mean, this is supposed to be a facility, 4th, 5th, and 6th floor for men who are trying to get better, who are trying to make their lives better. But, my God, who would want to make their life better living here? Shit, it caused me to relapse a month ago. My God, I'm back in CNY services. Blow chunks and kick rocks. Every day. Yo, have a good one. Okay, this is the downstairs front office. They keep that spotless. They keep it beautiful. They keep the downstairs front office completely beautiful. Look. YMCA. YMCA. So beautiful. This is the men's elevator. And this is supposed to be where people are supposed to want to get better and live like human beings. But I mean, God Almighty, look at it. It's horrible. Oh, we don't get lost in the elevator. Mostly, the elevator, it tends to break down about twice a year, and it's usually broke down for about 3 or 4 months until they get it fixed. And obviously, you can see we're back on my 5th floor because obviously there's no water fountain on the 5th floor, but a nice exposed pipe. And I'm sticking the camera right up to it. I guess if you had a gas sensor, you could smell the gas coming out of this pipe. Now, you can see moisture in there if you look closely enough. When I update later, I'll have a brighter flashlight. You'll be able to see this stuff. Scary, huh? Mr. Kenny would probably throw up on himself. He'd probably run out of this building screaming bloody murder. A lot of times during the weekends, 2 and 3 days in a row, these trash cans will be left overflowing and not emptied. It will stink so horribly bad in here that, my God, even the girls are scared to touch it. It's pitiful. It's pathetically pitiful. Oh, I hear you back there, Frankie. I hear you, Frankie. Frankie's been here for quite a while. We won't bother asking Frankie for an interview. Most of the men here are way too scared to give any kind of interview because they feel like they'll be kicked out of the building if they do give an interview. So that's all 3 floors of the Y today. And as I said, I mean, it only gets worse. It stays this way pretty much year round. It doesn't matter whether it's spring, summer, winter, or fall. Always stays this way. They want to treat you like an animal, and then they cry like babies when you respond like an animal to them. See, men even have to burn incense just to make the place smell better. It stinks so bad. Look at this. Incredible. Don't worry, get your face on here. I want you to feel threatened by the staff here. I want you to feel like you're going to get kicked out. Anyway, like I said, that's a feces odor I was telling you about. Liquid feces from where an older person couldn't quite hold their bowels down the hallway, who shouldn't be in this part of the building. And we're heading back to my room now, 527. Quite interesting, huh? Very, very interesting. Well, that's my little sign on the door right there. It's my little way of making extra money. I fix things for people. Tax returns, bike repairs, things like that. Microwaves, headphones, radios. Look. Big chunks of dust balls. Watch. See what I mean? And this stuff stays in the hallways too. These women don't really feel like they have a choice because they keep saying they get their hours cut more and more every time. But I mean, I'm sorry. It took me about 5 hours the night I worked on the bathroom here on the 5th floor to clean it properly. And it just, I mean, come on. I mean, I even had to build that stop on this toilet door so men can have privacy without somebody walking in and pushing the door right open into their face and their kneecaps. Now, when I scrubbed under this toilet right here, I found feces that was a 1/4 inch thick on the floor, dried onto the floor. I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed under this toilet. And it stank so bad in here, oh my God, you would have thrown up. As a matter of fact, I did throw up. But anyway, I mean, at least you can get a wheelchair into this one so a poor guy in a wheelchair can use the bathroom. I mean, give him that. Give him kudos. Give him kudos. But anyway, I mean, you can definitely tell the difference in the windowsills around here. Big, big difference. But you know what I'm saying. And there's our sinks. Our two sinks that have been out since last March of 2013. Now this toilet, this wheelchair toilet right here, wheelchair accessible toilet, it was backed up too at that time. The very same time those sinks backed up, this toilet backed up. Now, somehow they got this toilet unstopped, but it took them 2 months to do it. Now, you were able to unstop that, yet you couldn't do anything about the sinks. The girls say that they claimed that the plumber said he had to come back, that he couldn't get his snake into that hole, up into that pipe, to run it in behind those sinks right there through that pipe. To be quite frank with you, if he ran a snake in there, he'd probably bust holes all in the pipe, because the pipes are so thin it's pathetic from wear and tear through years and years and years. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut down this video for today. As I said, this is just an update video. This is January 7th, I believe it is, 2014, which you know as well as I do comes up on the laptop. And I'm headed back to my room, my little home away from home. Let me set this down so I can get my keys out. Oh, my wrist feels like it's about broke. I've been holding this camera for so long. Later today, I'm going to update this video a little bit more when I have a proper flashlight to really show you stuff that's in dark places where you can't really get a really good picture. It's like this door has to be repaired because of its lack of, see the separation? I had a drunk man here a couple years ago try to kick this door in, and he split this very hard seam on the door, and you can see the cracks in it and see how loose it is. I can't wiggle it because I'm holding the laptop in my hand. Let's see. I can't set it down anywhere right now. But I've asked for this to be fixed 2 years ago when it happened. It's never been fixed, but you can quite obviously see the door frame's cracked, and it runs right through the locking mechanism. See there? It's horrible. And as you can see, this is my room. 527, that's the key that I got when I came here to the Y. Anyway, I mean, I try to at least live like a human being. I mean, it's not bad. You know, I've got flowers and stuff in my room, but my room looks like a palace. My room looks like the Taj Mahal. My room looks like I'm a human being, and I treat myself like a human being. Yet, they don't treat you like a human being here. Floors, the paint peels almost within a month or two of you being in here. There's my keys, I throw them on the floor. But anyway, I mean, I try to live like a human being. I mean, like I said, I realized about a month ago, that was my fault. That was something that I did, which was my responsibility, which I take responsibility for. My parole officer, Fisher, he wasn't happy at all. I thought he wanted to rip my head off and dump me in the street, because I did really good for 2 years. Actually, 3 years. I've been on parole, I've been clean for 3 years. But anyway, I mean, that was my mistake. And it's the most horrible mistake. There's the roof out there. They just repaired this roof last year. They spent a fortune on it. If I could get away with taking my laptop down into the very downstairs, you can see where leaks come through the ceiling still. That's a screen, but that's a piece of screen I put in there after I moved in here. And if I can pull my greenery back, I'll show you what I was talking about before with my windowsill. I hate messing up my greenery, but I will, just to give you a better shot of this. Okay, I hate messing up my room, but I mean, I've been asking for this windowsill to be repainted and sealed properly for 2.5 years, and I've been here for 3 years. Look at that. Oh my God. And what happens is all the moisture runs down in between the crack in the sill of that window, and it runs into the wall. And what happens is the moisture gets into the wall here, and then as it freezes on the outside, it freezes on the inside. And it forces... Excuse me, I'll be with you in just a moment. I got somebody knocking on my door. But anyway, you can see where it separates the paneling from the wall and forces it further and further out. See the size of that big giant hole there? I have mice come up in here that look pretty big. They look more like a rat. They do pretty good with their pest control, but it ain't the best. And I'm going to be shutting down now because I have someone at my door. I don't know who it is. As a matter of fact, I'll leave this running just for a second, because if it's Mr. Turk and he's in here wanting to start some trouble, I'd love to have you hear his voice. He's so reassuring. Loving man, loving man. Somebody around here is embezzling money, I'll tell you that. Who is it? Oh, my movies. Ain't getting a fucking dime from me. They can suck my... Ooh. Sorry, forgot I was still recording there. But, you know, anyway, like I say, these people are horrible people. They treat you like an animal. They don't care. I don't believe they ever have really cared about anybody who stays here. Most of the women, I'm quite sure, really don't care about any men that stay here. I mean, they have families at home that they, you know, have to look out for and everything, but, I mean, my God, it's a crazy world. I just don't understand how anybody can be treated like this in this place. It's just beyond belief. I'd like to update this video, at least weekly. I had some other discs that I took originally last year when they left our sinks down here, completely stopped up, and it was like 4 months into it, and I got sick and tired, so I recorded that. And unfortunately, I left those discs in my room here, and somehow, some way, and the only people that knew that I recorded it were 3 of the women who work here as housekeepers, if you can call them that. Shit, they don't even keep the hallways clear or kept or anything else. One of these housekeeper females, her husband is the maintenance supervisor. Now this man, for some reason, I don't know, just doesn't seem to get around to anything as far as being fixed on floors 3, 4, and 5 here on the men's residence. I wonder what the older senior citizens residence on the other side of the building look like. I would have to say that they probably look better than this, because those senior citizens, they would probably be screaming and hollering, but a lot of the guys that are over on this side, they're old enough to be senior citizens too, which is unusual. Anyway, I'll update this video disc in approximately a week instead of 48 hours. I'm going to make a copy for OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration. I'm going to make a copy for the Health Department. I'm going to make a copy for Section 8 Housing Authority, because I have a Section 8 fixed permit for this room. They pay a portion of the rent. I'm also going to make a copy for my personal defense, where, you know, like I said, I'm not paying rent anymore. I'm sick and tired of it. I've had enough. I'm tired of being treated like a beast, an animal, and nothing being done to be helpful. I've only was given one compliment about the cleaning I did in that bathroom. Who cares about the compliment? But the young lady came to work here in Mr. Turk's men's resident management office. I'm not going to say her name, but she was stunned at how clean our bathroom looked after I cleaned it. Especially the sinks. I pulled those plastic bags off the sinks and cleaned out all the black crud and everything from where it had backed up into the sinks. And the girls just left it since last March. Again, I'll update this disc in approximately a week. And make extra copies of it, because the disc that I made last summer of all of the violations and the health issues mysteriously disappeared out of my room somehow. And the only people with access to my room obviously are me and the housekeepers. And it happens to be one of those housekeepers' husbands is the maintenance supervisor, maintenance that never gets done. But you can't really blame that on him, because Mr. Turk is the men's residence manager, and he's been the men's residence manager, to the best of my knowledge, since before the year 2000, because I came here to stay once in about 2000, 2001, and Mr. Turk was the residence manager at that time too. Let me tell you something. The place wasn't really bad at that time. I mean, it was nothing like it is now. This is stunning, I'm telling you. Very stunning. This place is horrible. There's nothing here that makes a man or even an animal want to get better and stay better. I mean, it gives you no incentive. I mean, God, just sweep them off the floors anyway. You can't even get them to do that. Like you can see in my room, you know, I can't get them to paint the floors. I can't get them to paint the windowsill or seal it. It's just horrible, but I try to live like a human being to the best of my ability. Like I said, I relapsed approximately a month ago, and that was my fault. But the conditions in this building did not make it any easier or conducive to me staying clean. And the majority of the men in this building drink, use drugs. You can walk down the hallways at any given time here and smell spike smoke, crack smoke, see people drinking beer. I mean, it's really bad. But I mean, God, I mean, you saw the conditions. Why in God's name would anybody not be able to stay sober here? I mean, you'd have to stay drunk and drugged up to be able to deal with what's happening here. It's crazy. I mean, I swear there's got to be someone embezzling an awful lot of money from the YMCA at 340 Montgomery Street. This is John Rayner, room 527. trying to look out for myself and look out for the other people in here who do want to get better and stay better. But you've seen the conditions. It's kind of hard to want to get better and stay better if you've seen these conditions. I guess I could say I'm signing off now. Later this morning, I've got to get back to CNY services. They're really good people. They have good services for people who want to get better and stay better. I also attend services that Onondaga Case Management. They've got some awesome counselors over there. Really helpful people at Onondaga Case Management. I go to a group there once a week, and I see a case counselor once a week there. That lady is something else. An incredible woman. She's so intelligent, she makes me look stupid. And I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. I can do it all. But this woman, she is incredible. I mean, she didn't break a hole through that wall. She didn't climb over the wall and, try to get me to come over the wall. This woman, she just stepped around the side of the wall, grabbed me by the throat, and yanked me around the wall. And I didn't even realize she did it. She's that good. And like I said, that's Onondaga Case Management for you. They've got really good counselors there. I guess I'm going to sign off now. Have a good day. Hopefully I will. And also, again, it's January 2014, the 6th. And it's approximately 7:45 a.m. And we're signing off, folks. Have